You hoes, villain arc story gets explained today. Let's get it.
Was cracking.
Another day, same old shit. Gucci, Gucci. I ain't gonna do no complaining. How you feeling?
Man, bye.
Ain't no lie, baby. Bye, bye, bye.
That's all I gotta say. Did you ever think Justin Timberlake was a Crip back in the day because he used to always wear baby blue?
No, no. His Disney Channel ass. I never thought he was a Crip ever. No,
You ain't think Justin
no.
was a Crip on the low low?
Not at all. Not even close. I would have thought the other, what was his name? Justin Bieber was a Crip before Justin Timberlake. So no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Wow. Wow.
Their manager might have been a Crip. You think their manager, the fat boy, he was the worst villain ever. You
I
ever see
ain't
the documentary about their manager, the boy that like brought them out, the
yeah.
fat
I
boy?
didn't the craziest thing I learned from that is that he signed himself as a member so he can get equal pay.
Yeah, he was a villain. So. And I think he was a PDF too. Boy was wilding all around the board, man. He was crazy boy.
A villain and a pedophile is crazy.
Yeah, man, that's like the worst shit you can ever do. But oh my god, man. Yo, you seen LL Cool J? He was talking about Tito Jackson was his dad. Did you see that?
LL Cool J said that?
Yeah, he said it out his mouth. I don't know if this nigga was trolling, but he said he signed the and they had to sign the NDA when he was young. But Tito Jackson, it was right after Tito died. And he got on Instagram and said Tito Jackson was his dad.
This wasn't AI.
It looked like LL to me. He had on the hat.
Man, LL might be going through dementia right now.
He said Tito Jackson was his pop. Yo, it's
No
crazy.
rapper can rap, but quite like I can. I take a muscle band man and put his face in the sand.
He be wanting to punch Jay Z in the face all the time. That shit be funny. I
I
think Jay Z
mean,
low key scared of LL a little bit. He don't want no smoke.
if you got to do it, you
Well, punch
know,
him in the face.
stop wanting, just do it.
He said. He said, what's the matter? I can't get no brunch. Said he never invited him to the brunch.
Nah, nigga, the brunch over with.
Yeah, the brunch definitely over with. Cause Jay Z is playing the villain nowadays, man.
You think Jay is playing the villain, or do you think Jay is the villain?
I'll be honest. I think in some people's stories, he's definitely the villain for sure, for sure. Is he the villain though?
But nah,
Yeah, I couldn't say yes. I don't know anything otherwise. Has he done some shitty, fucked up things? Maybe. Is he the villain? Nah, I wouldn't say that. Jay Z gave a lot of opportunity to a lot of people, but people who give opportunity might still be the villain. But they're trying to make Jay and Beyonce like they're like Hitler and Cruella Deville right now, like the real villains out here. Like they looking. Let Jaguar Wrong tell it. They're the real villains right now, like mastermind, evil plot to take down the industry villains right now.
I mean, who's left to take down? You get rid of Jay, there's nobody left.
Um,
And then when we don't got nobody speaking up for shit or calling shots for shit, I don't want to hear nobody whining. Oh well, how come? How come? I don't want to hear that shit. And let's be clear, I don't believe no allegations against Jay. You know
then
what
the
I'm saying?
then the whites will have everything. The whites gonna have everything for real in a minute if y'all
you
shut the
think
fuck up.
you think this is a conspiracy? You think Lucia, what's his name? Lucia Grender? Lucia.
You know his
You
name was
think?
Michael. You know his name was Michael G. He changed his name.
Well, do you think this is a plot? Maybe he's the one behind all this Diddy shit and behind this Jay propaganda. Maybe he's trying to take all the moguls and the CEOs out so he ain't got no problems buying up the whole goddamn labels.
Well, I mean, all the labels that we had are gone. We talked about that before, but I definitely feel like it's something bigger with him because he just put his son in position. His son had the label that got Ice Spice and 69 and Trippie Red. We know what a train wreck for the culture that label was.
Well,
And
it
now
just
he
did. Got
and now,
300 now, don't they?
well, now he runs the Atlantic now. He runs the Atlantic Group now. You know, that's a part of Warner. And then the dad, Lucian, well, I'm gonna call that motherfucker Michael G, because that's his real name. Michael G runs Universal. So that's 1/3 of the market share right there that they, I mean, 2/3 of the market share right there that they both control.
Who changes their name to Lucian though?
That freaking villain right there, Lucian
That
villain.
sound like a villain name though. Like my
Exactly.
name is Lucian.
His dad, his dad's name was Cecil G, and he was Michael G. You know how they started out?
Oh, I see. I see why you changed that shit.
They started out as tailors. They from overseas. They from London or some shit like that. They were tailors for the Beatles. That's how they started in music. Michael G.
Ah,
Yeah, they was with the Beatles. They were tailors. They used to do their costumes for their performances and shit. That's how Lucian got into the music business.
oh, okay, okay. Well, shout out to the motherfuckers buying up everything. You gotta have it to get it, and if you got it, you can't be mad at it.
Oh, for sure. That's why you can't kind of be mad at Jay or Puff for that matter. Although he got caught up being a freaky ass nigga, so there's that. So
And
he's out the game.
and he's the biggest villain in hip hop right now in rap and
Let fucking
entertainment.
let Jaguar wrong tell it. He definitely is.
It's just crazy. Just a couple months ago, he was getting the key to the city from somebody that just got indicted himself. It's crazy.
That's wild. New York is the worst place ever. Speaking of New York and Jay, another villain took some shots on his live today. Not his live, his story. I thought that was a little bit shady that he thought that picture of Solange in his live, yo.
Maybe he was listening to Solange and they gonna want to show her some love.
Nah, I don't think that was it. I don't think that was the reason. It was a million pictures you could have put up of Solange. Why you put that one up? Of all the pictures you could have put up.
Well,
Fresh out the elevator, smacking Jay all up in his head, then you just put that picture up of her, fresh off of that action. Yeah, that's a shot. That's a direct shot. I
why
feel like
why
anyway.
why are you taking shots at Jay right now?
I mean, Jay put Kendrick on the Super Bowl. Kendrick made Drake look like the ultimate villain. He played the villain for a large portion of the year. He had like 17 fortnights as the villain this year. So yeah, I think he's definitely trying to get a little get back. And he's always been contentious with everybody. Drake always been, put it out there that I'm the best and I don't really give a fuck about who feel away. So taking shots at Jay is something that I wouldn't put past him at all.
Start rapping, nigga. These memes and posts is sus. Start rapping. Go ahead and get in another battle with a nigga.
If he get in the battle with Jay, he gonna kill him though. Jay ain't right. Jay ain't got no more battle left in him.
Oh god.
Oh, bro.
Oh
Come on, man.
god.
I know that's your role model uncle, but come on,
Uh,
man. He got to give
oh
it up.
god.
He's scared of 50 Cent. He won't even clap back at him. Drake will murder
Uh,
him right now.
oh god. Anyway, Will Smith villain.
Why? Because he smacked Chris Rock in the face.
You think he still got that villain aura with him?
I don't really think that he was ever a villain. I think he just was frustrated that day. I wouldn't put
No, no, no,
Will.
no, no. Not self made. This is that was that he was named a villain. Like he made himself a villain. He didn't want to be one. He made himself a villain.
uh,
His origin story is basically Chris Rock talking that shit, and that nigga went villain mode.
you feel like he went villain mode after that? I don't feel like he did. I feel like he just had a night,
The
and he
public, the public turned him
well
villain after that night.
I get that, but I don't feel like he's done enough. Even like after that night, he went back to being just normal Will Smith going on his adventures and shit like that. Like I don't really feel like he turned villain. I wouldn't give him a villain. If you asking me, I wouldn't give Will Smith the villain tag. I wouldn't do that.
Oh,
I wouldn't.
White America thinks different, buddy.
I guess
Remember when the baby was a villain?
he definitely was a villain after he called everybody gay. They feeling the shit out of him. They feeling the shit out of him. That was
Chris,
bad. I don't feel like he ever made it. Well, no, I guess he did. He ain't never get back to that status he had though. The baby was all over everything for a minute, and once that happened, that shut everything down for him.
yeah, he was just on Drink Champs talking about all that too.
Yeah, 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 I saw that, John. I saw that, John. That was a good interview.
Chris Brown.
Yeah, he was born a villain. He but you know what's crazy? One thing
Hold
about
on, hold on. Why was he born a villain?
he was born a villain. He been a villain since day one, yo. He always been on some bullshit.
So
That
his origin story started at yo. Excuse me, miss.
yeah, did it. Yeah. Excuse me, miss. Yeah,
But
he
didn't he
been
get
the
the
villain.
chick in the video?
He did, but that don't make him not the villain just because he got her. Yo, the Chiefs is whooping the Saints' ass right now. Yeah, he's been the villain since day one. And one thing, but I was gonna say one thing about Chris Brown. I feel like he's one villain that was able to, even though they tried, they couldn't knock him off the square, and he kind of stayed afloat in his villain era. Like he's kind of adapted to the villain era very nicely. So I'll say that about C. Breezy.
It's funny we talking about villains because I feel like these next, what is it, 3 months left, 4 months left in the year.
Uh huh.
I feel like my villain story is my origin story is about to happen as a villain.
Oh, absolutely,
I'm I'm
absolutely.
I'm calling it and I'm claiming it. And remember, listeners, every villain story they didn't start as a villain.
They started as a fucking hero.
Something happened.
In the words of the great prosecutor Harvey Dent, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. So let me ask you, like, what brings you to this realization or to
I
this
I
point in your
I
life?
I don't know yet, but I just feel it coming. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. The villain is coming.
You know what's crazy? I used to ask people this question a lot. I used to ask. I feel like I asked it on the podcast, or we asked it in the group text when we used to have the pod group text too. I used to say, if you had your choice, what would you choose? Would you choose to be a superhero or a villain?
A villain. I mean, a hero for sure.
You would choose to be a hero. Why?
Now, most villains die.
Most heroes. Well, I can't say most heroes die because Batman ass ain't never die. Although all you had to do was shoot him. Superman, you just had to stick kryptonite in his throat.
Pause.
But they'll never do
Pause.
it. So you're right. Most of the villains do die, but we all gonna die. So
You know what I'm saying? Like they did Thanos dirty.
they had to cheat to beat Thanos though. He won. He technically won. They had to go back in time and all that shit.
And shout out to Thanos because he's an all time villain. He was a
Oh
cold
yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah. I think he would be number one on the top five list for
Think
sure.
so?
I think he would. It would be a very very strong argument for him to be number one on the top
Nigga,
five
nigga,
list.
did you forget about Darth Vader, nigga?
Darth
We
Vader was
old.
the shit. That's why I said
Villain.
that's why I said it would be a strong argument. You just gave somebody that he can have a strong argument with. You can't say that he's not the level of Darth Vader because Thanos was that motherfucker was crazy. That motherfucker had it popping.
Man, so as far as the culture goes, well, not even the culture. Who's some women villains? Since
Oprah.
we're on villains, you think
Oh
Oprah's a villain?
hell yeah, Oprah a villain. Fucking right. Fucking right.
I
She was a villain.
I disagree.
Well, I think that she does things for herself, and I feel like that's what. So, all right, let's before we get into that, let's expound on what makes a villain. I feel like you stepping into your villain era, and me as well, because I feel like this last season of my life was a villain to me. So now it's time for me to turn the tables on it. And when I say that, it's about me realizing who was actually there for me through this season, in a way that I would be there for them. So now that the table is turning for us and we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, it'll put us in different spaces now. And now coming into these different spaces, all these people that turned a blind eye and act like things weren't what they were. Now they're going to be looking to you and looking to me to be able to do things or create opportunity. And it's like, if you don't get the fuck out my face now, that's what creates a villain. I think Oprah is a person who has been in that same scenario where, people expect so much of her because she has so much. And she's just looking around like, fuck y'all, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want. Like that thing that went on in Hawaii when she went out there and bought up all that property and everybody complained like she just out there giving out pillows. She don't care about them people. A villain. Absolutely. She ain't blinked twice about nothing those people had to say, and she just kept it moving, doing what she wanted to do. A villain doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that just creates a whole bunch of chaos
But
and
that's just hate. That's just her getting hated on.
I mean, but it still makes you a villain in people's
But
eyes. Absolutely.
villainized.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
What about Ellen?
Absolutely.
Ellen.
Is she a villain?
That's what her coworkers said.
Yeah,
That's what her.
they said she
That's
was
what
a
her.
bitch. I don't know much about Ellen. I know that dude killed himself that was on her show.
That's that's what her employees were saying. When your employees say you a villain, you a fucking villain. You a villain. Who you think is the most villainized of all time?
The most villainized
This easy though.
Donald Trump.
Think so?
He up there. Yeah. He up there. He's not half as bad as they make him out to be.
I gotta say MJ
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely.
of
Absolutely.
all
Absolutely.
time. That
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
like
Absolutely.
they
He's even
destroyed.
more
Like I hate to say it,
he's even
but they
more villainized.
destroyed Mike. They
He's even
destroyed Mike.
he's even more villainized than Jesus Christ, which is crazy to say, but it's the truth.
I don't know
He's
about that. Now I don't know about that nigga,
shit.
but
He
on Earth, he definitely the most villainized of all time. Who you think will be number two?
of all time. I was about to say some stupid shit
Well,
like
I know, but no political shit. No,
yeah.
because I knew what you was gonna say.
No political shit. So we just talking celebrities.
Celebrities, culture. I'd say Kanye.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I say Kanye. I definitely put Trump in there.
Yeah,
Uh,
I definitely give Trump the nod. They make Trump to seem like he's fucking the new Hitler, which is crazy, but
I
yeah,
put
he's up
I
there.
I put Jay in there, but it's not as bad as it used to be. Because remember, 10 years ago, oh my god,
I only think it's not bad because he's kind of quiet. I feel like it's about to get horrible for him in a second though. I feel like it's coming. I feel like
I
shit's
don't.
about to get real. You don't think things about to get rough for Jay Z?
Nah,
Shit, I do.
it's hype right now. This shit gonna die down.
I don't think so. I think shit's about to get crazy for him. Dame Dash is villainized.
Think so?
Big time, absolutely. The whole industry be trying to act like he a bad guy, and all Dame trying to do is just own shit. Yeah, like his peers villainize him, which is crazy. The people that he put in position and made money with turned around and villainized him. So yeah, Dame, I definitely put Dame on that list if we talking culture for
Yeah.
sure.
Hmm. Who you think was the biggest TV villain of all time?
Like from a show,
Television. Yep.
Skeletor.
This nigga said Skeletor.
Nah, biggest TV villain. Damn man, we old, so my Rolodex gets crazy when it comes to shows. Who can I think of that was the craziest TV villain? My brain automatically goes to cartoons, so I think of like Megatron, Cobra Commander, and shit like that. But I'm trying to think of like a TV show where it was a crazy villain. Who you got?
Uh, the little white boy from fucking Game of Thrones, Joffrey. That nigga was a crazy villain.
I never watched that show.
You ain't you ain't late.
No, no. You know who I got? Omar from The Wire. That was a villain.
Okay,
That was a
okay.
villain. That was a villain.
Who else?
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
mother from Game of Thrones.
I heard Game of Thrones was crazy. I just never watched that, Joe. I heard that shit was all that.
Uh, what was the show they had on fucking what the dead motherfuckers, the zombie show that used to
You talking
be
about
all
the
over the
Walking
place?
Dead?
The Walking Dead, Negan, that nigga was a
Yeah.
super duper villain.
Who?
Cersei,
Who you?
Homelander from The Boys. You
Yeah,
watch that shit?
yeah. I watched that shit before.
Homelander's a fucking villain.
Damn,
Who else?
crazy TV villain.
I'm trying to think. I
You,
guess
I'm thinking of shows like the A Team. See, the villain was different every fucking episode on shit like that. Oh,
yeah,
touchdown!
you going way too far back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to cover all of TV, all the TV I've watched.
Let me see. What about fucking Mr. Burns? He
Mr.
was
Ball.
definitely a villain. He
You
was a
talking
villain.
about Mr. Villain? He used to pay people. He used to create jobs and pay people. He
Yeah,
wasn't.
he was a
He
villain.
was just a boss.
Mr. Burns was a fucking villain.
He was just a boss. He wasn't no villain.
Man, that nigga was a villain. Who else? Gus from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Gus was that nigga. I can't front. He was a villain you could cheer for.
Who else? What was the
Absolutely.
fucking the grandma from Sopranos? The mom from Sopranos. She was a fucking villain.
I thought you was about to say the grandma from All in the Family. I was gonna say, what the fuck?
You already said Mario from The Wire, right? Marlo.
Marlo, yeah, not Marlo. I said Omar. Marlo was
Marlo was
cold.
definitely a villain.
Marlo was cold. Marlo was cold. Marlo might have been
Actually,
more villain than
actually,
Omar.
Marlo was a worse villain than the nigga
Yeah,
you named.
yeah, he definitely was. You saying
That
that?
nigga was evil.
He was a worse villain than Omar. He was the devil's spawn. Absolutely, Marlo was crazy.
Yeah, that nigga was top villain.
So let me
Who you
ask you
got?
this. Let me ask you this on the personal note. Back to the personal note. How do you feel like you'll feel being viewed as a villain at this stage in your life? Like how you feel like you yourself are going to internalize that and then
What?
push it back out to the world.
See, this is the thing. When I said I feel like I'm gonna become the villain, it's just
Uh-huh.
because of things that are taking place now that I have no control over,
Yeah.
and that aren't gonna benefit other people, and it's not gonna be in their favor. So they'll make me the villain. I'm not gonna become one. They'll make me
No,
one. So
I get that. I totally get that, and I'm saying like, how are you going to internalize that, and then in turn like deal with it? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. So
I'm
you
gonna
you
keep.
gonna so basically you're gonna embrace being a villain to
Yeah,
the people in their
I,
story.
yeah. I'm gonna embrace whatever comes with me doing what I gotta do every day, and I'm gonna keep shit pushing. You know what I'm saying? What about you, pimp?
I mean, I feel like I've been the villain in so many stories, and I've tried my best to a certain extent to give the best explanation to people as to why I shouldn't be the villain. I don't give no fucks no more. After this season I just went through, you could think I'm fucking Hitler himself. I do not fucking care. I am not here to. I feel like if we have a misunderstanding, I'm just gonna be misunderstood from here on out. Like I just don't have the time, energy, or patience for it. So.
And the cold part is most villains are misunderstood,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. However you choose to paint me, that's just how the picture's going to hang on the wall in your house, and I'm gonna let you have that. Just is what it is.
which the Joker is a great example of a misunderstood villain.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because you don't know what people's, you don't know what people's, what's the word I'm looking for? People's reasons for doing what they do are. Like you have Mari, so a lot of the things that you do are surrounded by her. I got Zanaya. A lot of the things I do are surrounded by her. So it's like if it's outside of the scope of what I need to do for my child or you need to do for her, fuck you. Like, what the fuck you want me to do about that shit?
Yeah.
I have an uncle who I don't fuck with. But he said some of the realest shit to me when I was a young boy. And I didn't get it then, but I'm there now. Like I'm to that point where it's like he said to me, he got two sons, and he said to me, he said, my only concern is blank and blank. He just named his two sons, and I thought it was the most selfish shit in the world. But like at this point in my life, I ain't got no argument for no shit like that. Cause my only concern is that child. Outside of that, I'll kiss my ass. I don't give a fuck.
Hmm.
If I'm the villain, so be it. It is what it is. Give me my green hair. Nah, I don't want to be the Diddy. That's crazy. No, no,
This
thanks.
nigga said, "Give me my green hair."
No, I take that back. Diddy already did that bit, so I'm gonna pass on that one.
Wow, that's funny because that is a queued up cover, which is funny that you said that. That's
Diddy.
that's funny.
But
Villains.
but yeah, I look forward to that particular phase because I kind of feel like not only am I going to embrace it, I'm gonna kind of rub people's face in it a little bit too. I think like that's the part I'm looking forward to, kind of pissing people off with it a little bit. 'Cause I've never been that type of person, and I'm kind of sick of people to a certain extent, like people that feel like they can control your narrative anyway. You know what I mean? So I'm here for it. I'm ready.
I'm ready to. Uh, top five of all time.
Let's go. What you got?
Hmm.
I mean, we just said three of
Let's
them.
do let's do movies. Let's do it in movies so that way
And we said
we.
three of them already: Joker, Thanos, and Dark Vader. So we only got two more spots to fill. They're
I'm going more.
definitely on there.
I'm going more culture based and a little comedy based.
Okay.
But this nigga definitely was a villain. I hope the people agree with me. Morris Day from Purple Rain. That nigga was a light skinned villain.
Now, you know who I would pick if I had to go culture base? Victor Sweet from Four Brothers. That nigga was a villain of villains, yo. He was
Nigga,
crazy.
nigga Bishop from Juice.
Yeah, Bishop was definitely a villain for sure.
Jules Winfield, Pulp Fiction.
No, man, I'm not putting him over Debo. Debo made three straight. No, he was in two straight movies. Debo is definitely a villain for that ass.
Old Dog, Minister Society.
D- Villain extraordinaire. Yes, sir.
He
Yes,
might
sir.
even be a super villain.
Yes, sir.
He might be a super villain.
He was on all bullshit. He started the movie on bullshit and didn't turn down until the end. He was busting his gun to the last scene of the movie.
Yeah, he was a super duper 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 villain.
Yeah, no, he still was.
Give me another villain.
Um, who a good villain? Nino Brown. He took over the whole fucking projects. He was definitely a villain. Fucking right. I got Nino Brown. Who else I got? Bokeem Woodbine and Jason's Lyric. He was a villain. He killed Jada Pinkett. All of her ass shit. I got shit. But yeah, he was a villain.
Uh, Nino Brown definitely was a villain and a snitch.
He did snitch. He did testify at the end of the movie. He testified
Uh,
on everybody.
old boy from In Too Deep, God LL.
Nah, what's the name was a villain too in that movie and turned into a snitch. Omar Epps the cop. You know that was a real story in
You
real
thought
life.
he was a villain over it, nigga LL? Nigga LL was sticking pool sticks up niggas' asses.
Pause. I didn't say he was a villain over him. I'm just saying he was a villain too, and then tried to turn it around like he was an actual cop when he wasn't. You know the real story about that in real life? The cop boy wound up killing himself.
Nah, I didn't hear about that.
That's a real story. That was based on a real person. In Too Deep.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a I'm gonna give you a female villain that people sleep on.
Who?
Remember Aaliyah played the vampire and Queen of the Damned?
Damn. Mm-hmm. She
She was a
died though
villain.
while she was taping that movie.
That was some villain shit. The dude who killed Ricky, he was a fucking villain.
You know what's crazy? I was about to name him. Fucking what's his face with the Jerry curl? What was his name? I can't
The
think of it.
villain.
No, the
Rest
boy.
rest in peace to him too, because he
Oh,
passed.
oh, no, not. I'm thinking of the boy who ordered the hit. You talking about the boy that actually shot him in the movie? Oh yeah, he was a villain in real life too.
Yeah. Yeah, his story's crazy. The
Yeah,
dude who killed Kane, he was a villain.
He's talking about Junior.
Yeah, he was a set it off too.
Junior is crazy.
Hey,
I
every
think
movie he playing, he was a
I,
villain.
I think Junior was the worst villain in Players
Players
Club.
Club.
He was the worst villain in that movie.
He,
Why I see look no? Why I see somebody on Instagram talking about Ice Cube was talking about he never went to Diddy party. Somebody gonna say you was at Junior bachelor party.
yeah, the
Yeah,
dude
that
who
dude who
killed
killed
Big Worm.
Big Worm. I don't know. I
Big
don't know
Worm
if
was a light villain.
I wouldn't put Big Worm over Debo because Big Worm ain't really do nothing but talk. And his boys came through and shot it up, but like I don't know. Big Worm didn't give me. He didn't do too enough for me to give him that villain label. We would have to assume he was doing the shit. We ain't see it on
Yeah, yeah,
screen.
yeah.
You had to see it on
So
screen to give him
basically,
the villain.
he was a low level low level
Yeah,
weed dealer.
that's all he was. He was hooting and hollering over $60. Nah, get out of here.
You know who we
Not going
forgot
to
about?
who
What was the old girl name from Set It Off?
who Stormy, Latifah,
Yeah, what was her name on there?
Cleo.
Cleo was a villain for sure.
Cleo was a hero. Actually, Cleo saved him at the end. She was a hero.
She still went villain because if she wouldn't she would have chilled the wait. Hold on, I might be tripping. I might be
Yeah,
tripping.
she was more of a hero than a villain because at the end she saved him. You know what I mean? She went
She
out like
saved one of them. This nigga
well, yeah, the
said
other one
them.
got shot. She was trying to save
Everybody
both of
else,
them.
everybody else was dead or in jail. Who else? Damn, I don't know. Who you
No,
think out of all the people we named is one, two, three, four, and five?
so we're not going to include Darth, Thanos, and
Nah,
Joker.
fuck them niggas.
All right. So who would I put at number one on that villains list? I would say the boy that shot Ricky would be number one because he like that was just horrible. Like that was heartbreaking to the black community watching Ricky get shot because Ricky was going to college. He had a scholarship, all that shit. So he would be number one. Who would I give number two to? Debo, because Debo was stealing niggas' bikes.
But Debo wasn't killing shit though.
He wasn't. He
Debo wasn't
wasn't.
killing shit. Debo would have got lit up if that he would have took old dog bike. If he would have took any of them niggas bikes. If he'd have took Bishop bike, Bishop would have popped him.
No, you right. Bishop could
Old
be
dog
number
would have.
two.
Old
We could
dog
throw
would
Bishop.
have.
We could throw
Nigga
Bishop
over
number
old dog.
two.
Over old dog.
Yeah, I would throw
Nigga, old
Bishop
dog
over
was
old
going
dog.
crazy.
He was, but Bishop was shooting his friends.
I
Yeah, it's
got
a
old
little
dog.
bit different.
I got old
Bishop
dog
was
at number one.
Bishop was shooting his friends. Those is his friends. You
Nigga,
know?
old dog wanted to shoot his friend. He wanted to.
Who? He ain't want to shoot none of them.
Man, when them niggas got into it, when it was that gun shit, nigga, he wanted to kill that nigga right there on the spot.
Nah, listen. But Bishop shot Raheem ass and then shot Still and was on cue ass. Those was his friends he was with every day, and he shot all three of them. Nah, he's a bigger villain. No rat.
Man,
He
nigga,
shot his, he shot his friends. That's a
old
different
dog
level of
killed the
villain.
nigga for talking about his mom, nigga.
That don't matter. Niggas kill niggas for talking about their mom. Niggas very rarely shoot their friends
He
if they
killed
beat
he
them.
killed the nigga over a cheeseburger. Nah, he killed the
Yeah,
nigga over some Diddy shit.
he shot his friend, yo. He shot his friend, yo. That was his friend. That's his friend. And he didn't hesitate. He shot him dead in the chest.
I don't know.
No hesitation.
I got old dog over Bishop.
All right, well, I got Bishop over Old Dog.
What
I
about
got Bishop
Alonzo from
number
Training
two.
Day? Where you put him? He on the list?
Ooh,
That nigga was a
he might
crazy
be
nigga.
number one now that I'm thinking about it. He might have just took the number one spot on the list. He was cold. He had his rookie smoking angel dust. He put Snoop Dogg in a wheelchair. He shot the boy, stole the money out the floor. He was
Nigga used his
wild.
baby mom as a shield.
Used his baby mom as a shield. He was wild. Yeah, he was wilding. He was wilding. Yeah,
Yeah, that nigga was super wild.
he might be. He might got number one. I might got him at number one. I want to put Victor Sweet on that list too from Four Brothers. Man, he was cold. He
My
told
honor, my honorable mention is Morris Day. He ain't do shit, but he just was a nigga you just had to hate. Light skin, just a light skinned villain, taking niggas
light
bitches.
skin too. They was both light skin arguing with each other.
Very true, very true. Took Prince bitch, had Prince doing DV, domestic violence over the bitch.
He ass whooping up on her. No, Prince
Yeah.
Pop is my man. He the funniest boy in history.
She said he bought me this guitar, that nigga.
Prince did make a movie where he was having domestic violence in the joint. Think about that for a second. That's wild. You couldn't get away with no shit like that no more.
That nigga back slapped the shit out of her.
What? Cold backhand like the pimp
Nigga,
back slap.
nigga, I yelled, "Don't hit my girl!
Who's that? Apollonia?
Don't hit my girl!"
Apollonia was the real villain. She was a hoe.
That is crazy that she just came up out of nowhere and was like, "I'm just here to make some money."
Man, she was bad to most.
Of all time,
She was bad.
Apollonia is in my DMs right now.
Till
She
I said
sent
hi.
she sent me a purple heart. She ain't say nothing. She just sent the nigga a purple heart. My
Till I said,
childhood crush knows I exist.
who
Ah,
was my childhood crush?
that was mine. She the one who turned me on to mixed women. On everything.
I can't think of who my childhood crush was. I used to have a
Cicely
crush on.
Tyson.
That's wild. Cicely Tyson played Martin Luther King's wife in the movie. That was crazy. That was
Watch a flick,
crazy.
illin, and root for the villain. Nice. One time for your mind.
Shout out
That
to
just
Naya.
gave me a that just gave me a crazy idea, but we ain't even got to list these villains. All these niggas get props.
For sure, but make sure y'all make way for the new villains. Sir M. Davis and Lord Wayne. It's the Ride Not All Day podcast. It's villain time, bitch.
This nigga just gave me a Game of Thrones name, huh? Just gave me a Game of Thrones name, huh, nigga?
Absolutely.
Hey, shout out to the villains.
Yeah, for sure. And to y'all listening, embrace whatever space of life you in. If you in that villain space, like sometimes you have to be the villain. Sometimes you got to play the villain. You can't just think you're gonna walk through life being on a level. You got your peaks and valleys, and you got your times where you got to throw your villain mask on. You got to protect yourself and your energy and things of that nature. And a lot of people going to look at that like you're not doing what they want you to do, so it makes you a villain. So embrace it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Shout out to Mike Tyson. Shout out to Michael Jackson. And shout
Shout out
out
to
to Michael Jordan.
shout out to Mike Vick. If you want to shout out to Mike's, shout out to Mike Vick too. Definitely turn
Well,
my man into a villain.
well, well, he was wilding. Take us out, Nate.
It's the Riding Out All Day podcast. It's another one, season 8. We getting personal. The doors is opening up. Y'all hear them, but we gonna let y'all in this season. We out this bitch.
Nigga, that's crazy. She walked in as soon as I said take us out. What's up, baby? You ready to go eat? Okay, we're gonna go eat. Daddy had to knock that podcast out real quick.
That was kind of perfect though. Had the door open. That was dope.
Let's go get you a grilled cheese.